If you've been following our Bronco Sasquatch ownership journey, then you know that those stock tires have been troublesome.
Coming up, we're going to share our experience running BFG KO2s for the last 2,000 miles, both on and off-road. And we're going to do it while exploring the deserts around California's Calico Ghost Town. But for oh man, I'm so close to saying the line right. Oh no, I got envied. Information explosion. Before we can explore that Calico Ghost Town, we have to drive to the Calico Ghost Town. It's drive time. So the reason we're going to Calico is because after the blizzards, a lot of our local trails have been closed, and so we want to go out and have a little bit of an adventure. And also, it seems like a really good time to talk about our experience riding on these BFG KO2s. Kiddo, are you excited to go to a ghost town? We've done this kind of thing before. We did a Cerro Gordo trail adventure in our Bronco, and the very first thing that happened was we slashed a tire. It should be a good day. Unless it's not, in which case we will have done a hard cuts to when things went wrong. So this is the hard cut I was talking about. We already have a flat, and I have no idea how. And before you ask, yes, we had aired down. And before you ask, no, I'm not an idiot. Well, no, I'm not an idiot.
Don't address the third most commonly asked question on camera.
Before you ask, no, I will not send you pictures of my feet. So that tire slash on our Cerro Gordo video was our first of many issues with the stock Goodyear tires. Slashes and punctures. You drove over a rock. And if there's one thing you shouldn't do with your Sasquatch equipped Bronco, it's ever drive over a rock.
It was a little rock, you guys.
Little rock. So that inspired us to look at tire alternatives, and I was talking to a buddy of mine, a guy named Jeff Glucker. Jeff's like, hey, why don't you talk to the BFG people? Maybe they'll send you some tires. So I did, and they did. I've also heard good things about the KO2 over the years, so it seemed like a good next step in our tire journey. We installed some 315 7017s, the C load rating, if you're curious. We did that about 3.5 months ago. We put about 2,000 miles on the Bronco, and as long as we're driving on the road, let's talk about our on-road driving experience with KO2s. One thing we heard about the KO2s is, oh, they're going to be loud. So what we did is we set up a test, found a 45-mile-an-hour section, tested the Goodyear Territory MTs, and then tested the KO2s.
Between the first test and the second test, we had that MagnaFlow exhaust installed.
Yes, and what we discovered with the MagnaFlow exhaust before and after is that it added 3 dB of noise at a steady state 60 mile per hour. So when we saw that interior noise increased by 2 dB with the KO2s, it made us think, okay, so if anything, the KO2s are as quiet, if not quieter, than the stock tires.
We've also heard that over time, these tires can get louder with wear, so that'll be an interesting additional test.
Yes, but we do have our test section, and we will continue to monitor it in future Bronco updates. We also measured fuel economy, and over 2,000 miles, we saw a 0.1 mpg drop, which I think is within the rounding error space. So I'm going to say it's essentially flat. Winter traction. Okay, so one big advantage of having the KO2s is that they are 3-peak rated, which means they've been tested for extreme winter conditions, which was very relevant to us because we had a once-a-generation blizzard this year where we live. The KO2s were outstanding. We had to do some grocery runs through very, very gnarly snow conditions. There were times where I had chains on the back and none on the front, and the thing still performed exceptionally well. So for our use case, that enhanced wintertime ability really makes the KO2s more appealing than the stock tires. Let's talk about on-road driving demeanor. Sweetie, have you noticed any meaningful change going from the old tires to the new tires?
I have not. They seem to perform similarly.
I haven't experienced a decline in ride quality or on-road traction or any weird steering feel issues. It all feels kind of in the same ballpark as it did previously. And before you ask, we're running stock tire pressures.
And before you ask, yes, he's really picky about how things drive.
Sure am. One thing we noticed with the Goodyears is that we had to replace our set before 20,000 miles. And you're probably thinking, Micah, you drive like an idiot. Maybe that explains it. That actually might be right. Nonetheless, there is a 50,000 mile warranty on the BFGs.
For a guy who drives like an idiot, that's a pretty good
Yeah, that actually might price out okay. And then the last one, puncture resistance. Sweetie, you want to take this one?
Man, I do like to drive over rocks. It's hard to avoid them up here, and there's a lot of debris in the road.
Have there been any punctures?
There have not been any punctures.
Overall, sweetie, have we had a pretty positive experience with our KO2s on road?
Absolutely. So far, it's been only upside.
Yeah, for our lifestyle, they've been a really good fit. With all that said, if you'd like to follow our Bronco ownership experience, we've had this thing since August of 2021. If you'd like to see our videos where we review cars as a family, or if you'd like to see any of our helicopter adventures, you're welcome to subscribe. All right, family, let's follow that MacGuffin. Okay, I think we have adequately experienced the Calico Ghost Town. Let's go off-roading. Okay, we're driving Phillips Loop, which is just to the east of Calico Ghost Town. It does this tiny little loop, and for most of this, it's just been rear-wheel drive and kind of blasting through. And I've noticed that we drop tire pressure like 30%. At that lower tire pressure, I find ride quality on these sort of chattery bits of dirt to be really quite good.
Oh, those bugs.
By the way, there's some creepy ass bugs out here. It's only right here too. And there's a bunch of mines. It feels like somebody unleashed an unspeakable evil. So we got a little rocky section here. By the way, I just have it in 4 high, so no special modes, no lockers engaged or anything like that. All right, here we got a little something. Pretty deep drop off here. Let's see how this goes. And this is the occasion where it'd be nice to have a front camera.
Super nice.
Neat. What was great about that is, you can make up for a lack of traction by engaging the front and rear lockers, which we have in our Sasquatch package, and that'll get power to the ground. But that was pretty great because we just have the open diffs and it just kind of powered on through, no problem. It's very close to whacking the antenna. For our purposes, Sasquatch package is probably a little bit overkill, but that overkill gives us confidence to go out places that we wouldn't necessarily go otherwise. Same deal too, where it's like, these are Baja Champion tires. It's like, I don't know if we necessarily need that capacity, but knowing that there's extra capacity is really reassuring, especially right now. We're out here like this is a moderate trail, so it's not so dicey going out by ourselves, and I have my sat communicator if I need it. But if you are gonna go out as a family, it's nice to know that you've got solid tires. Okay, looks like we got some clearance stuff happening here. I'm gonna get my right tires up and over on the right side. So this isn't super technical, but it is a little more challenging than you try in your average 4x4. Traction has not been a problem. Haven't had to use the lockers yet, or maybe won't have to at all. Okay, we got some articulation here. Can we do it? Can we do it? Hey, we did it. Little 3-wheel action and 2-wheel action. Is that fun, kiddo? Yeah. Thank you for helping. There we go. I think the combination of excellent off-road traction, good ride quality, and the durability, we haven't had anything break just yet, and that's very reassuring. So, unless we do a hard cut to the moment when everything goes wrong, everything went great on our outing today with the KO2s. Well, hard cut, we did it, we really messed up. I'm just kidding, everything's fine, it's fine. Onward to remarks. All right, family, what was your favorite part of the Calico ghost town? Kiddo, go. My favorite part was when the GoPro overheated, but the other ones kept going just long enough for us to finish the video. Sweetie, what was your favorite part of today's adventure?
The extremely slow train.
It was a comically slow train. For me, I think my favorite part is coming out here and doing kind of like we do on our normal weekends, where we go out and we do a little adventuring and see some places we wouldn't be able to see normally. This is my favorite part. As for the KO2 tires, the title for the video was not a tease. We really do have 3 big reasons why we switched from the stock tires to the BFGs. Extreme competence in the winter, lack of slashes and damage.
That's number 1 for me.
Yes, and the tread wear. It's got a 6-year, 50,000-mile warranty, and I find that very reassuring because I drive like an idiot. Thank you, kiddo. Family, I think we've done a good job adventuring today. May I? Oh, you're distracted by a weird hole. May I have a 5 and a 5 and you. You're not distracted by a weird hole, are you? Come get that 5. Bam!